Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our webinar. Please note that the webinar is being recorded and it will last 1 hour. Our first speaker is Charalambos, Director of Sales and Business Development of Logicom Solutions, who will give a short introduction about our partnership with DELL Technologies. Then Marinos Avidis, Pre-Sales Consultant of Logicom Solutions, will present hyperconverged infrastructure. After Marinos, Radu Isaias, Storage Platforms and Solution Sales from DELL Technologies, will present VxRail, the foundation for IT transformation and the cloud operating model. Before we start with our first speaker, I would like to give you a short introduction about Logicom Solutions. Logicom Solutions is a member of Logicom Group and as the largest services and solutions integrator in Cyprus and with a strong presence in Greece, known as ICT Logicom Solutions, is dedicated to offering advanced technological solutions and services. Working with organizations across a range of different industries and having strong long-term relationships with leading technology vendors, Logicom Solutions is focusing on delivering a holistic set of solutions and services to support the end-to-end digital transformation journey of every organization. We have a wealth of experience in offering high-quality managed services, value-adding advisory services, software solutions, and a complete portfolio of infrastructure solutions. Logicom Solutions has 3 ISO certifications as shown, and last week we were awarded the ISO 14001 about environmental management. You can use the Q&A for your questions, and we can answer all your questions at the end of the webinar. And let us welcome now our first speaker, Charalambos, Director of Sales and Business Development of Logicom Solutions. Papos, you can proceed now with your presentation.
Daphne, are you going to share it?
You're the presenter now. You have the presenter right, so you can change the slides.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome you to our webinar. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to attend our webinar today. I just wanted to make a brief introduction about Logicom Solutions and why we selected DELL Technologies for our end-to-end systems solutions portfolio. And if you give me 1 second. So just a very brief introduction. Daphne presented the company very well, and it's great to have you all with us. Why did we select DELL Technologies? So we had to make a decision a couple of years ago, selecting a partner where it can provide to us an end-to-end solution portfolio. As you know, and especially the companies and yourselves, our partners, that they know us very well from Cyprus, we are one of the biggest system integrators. You already know that we are helping you out, and we are a gold partner of Cisco, and we wanted to have a similar relationship with another strong technology partner that we could set up a strong end-to-end relationship both in Cyprus but also in our growing office in Greece as well, in Athens. So we wanted to have a systems-oriented technology company that could provide to us an end-to-end solution portfolio. And we can find this in DELL Technologies. So we cover with Dell technologies all the way from the end client to the infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I mean, the traditional storage, the traditional compute, but also above that level, like hyperconverged infrastructure, which is the technologies that we will look at today in the presentations that are following mine, but as well as all of the other systems-oriented technologies such as backup, deduplication systems, and so many other technologies that Dell Technologies brings to our portfolio. We found synergies with Dell Technologies, and Dell Technologies found synergies in our company as well. As Daphne said in our introduction, we are one of the biggest systems integrator in Cyprus, and we are growing also in Greece as well. So Dell Technologies found in Logicom Solutions a system integrator that can provide and play in big infrastructure projects, not only in the private sector, but also in other sectors of such as government, financial services, etc. And finally, our purpose of life as a company is to create value to our clients. So we are not, as you know, we are not a box moving company. We are not a distribution company. So we build relationships with our vendors, and we deliver a value to our end clients. And this is something that we can really deliver to you along with Dell Technologies. So working together with Dell Technologies in all of the technologies that I mentioned before, but also in the hyper-converged infrastructure technology that we will see in the presentations following mine, you will see how valuable these technologies are and what we bring on the table to help you out with your infrastructure needs. Now, Daphne didn't mention that in the first slide. We are a platinum partner of Dell. In Cyprus, we are a tier 1 partner. This means a lot to us, but also the value that we are delivering to our clients. With our office in Greece, we can deliver technologies. We are a tier 2 partner in Greece. Now, some of you are familiar on the Dell brand, but you are not. Maybe you are not familiar on how the services are offered from Dell partners like ourselves. So in order for us to be able to implement, but also to provide the ongoing maintenance and support services for your organization, for the Dell Technologies, Logicom Solutions had to go through a specific program per technology in order to gain the service competencies for all the technologies that we're proposing and we're installing in our portfolio to you. So what you see over here, it's a list of service competencies, certifications that we have certified our company with our own engineers to be able to support you when we are implementing a specific technology. And you can see from the list over here that it covers all of the areas of technologies that we have a joint interest with Dell to promote and push into your environments in order to advance your technology and help you with your digital transformation. So, and gathers from traditional technologies like compute, including blades, rack-mounted servers, but also Azure Stack, which is a hybrid technology with supporting the Microsoft layer on top. PowerVault VxRail, which is a hyper-converged infrastructure that my colleagues will present in the following slide, and all of the other technologies. So my message to you is that we stand strong with Dell Technologies. And now there is a partner, a system integrator behind Dell Technologies that it can support you in all of your deployments. As you know us from maybe other engagements with Logicom Solutions, we have a very strong technical support services organization with a 24/7 help desk where we can deliver all of our help desk level 1, but then following with that level 2 and level 3 maintenance and support services, matching our service competencies with Dell. So as looking in the market, at some point of time, every infrastructure in an organization will go through an infrastructure refresh. I bet everyone in the IT industry understands that term. So what we see nowadays, this infrastructure refresh usually has two paths. One path is it concerns companies that they will follow the all cloud path, which is an area also of interest for Logicom Solutions, where we can sit down with you and understand what really you need to take into cloud and why. But from our experience, what we see mostly, it's a second path, which is either refreshing the infrastructure for staying on-premise or moving to a hybrid environment. At the end of the day, we would like to help you out. So if you are approaching the time for an infrastructure refresh, reach out to us so we can sit down with you and see whether technologies like HCI, like Dell's VxRail, can help you out with a TCO exercise over a period of time of 5 years, usually, or 7 years. We can see whether we can even trade in your existing equipment, your obsolete existing equipment, for an additional benefit to your organization. So this is my message to you. When you're reaching the infrastructure refresh time for your organization, let's talk. Let's understand that cycle, and let's see whether we can help you out and deliver a benefit to your organization by moving some of your technologies to a hyper-converged infrastructure, dependent, of course, on your use case, on your organization needs. But we are ready to discuss this with you. We have seen with VxRail that we can provide a very cost-effective and efficient solution for organizations that they are keeping their infrastructure on-premise. That was it from me. I will hand it over to Marinos Savidis, my colleague. He's in our pre-sales team, and he will deliver a high-level view of concepts related to hyper-converged infrastructure and VxRail. Marinos, on to you.
Thank you, Bambos. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. Again, my name is Marinos Savidis, and I'm part of the pre-sales team here at Logicom Solutions. What we want to do today is walk you through the hyper-converged infrastructure, what it is, and give you a high-level overview of the technology and the architecture. It is not a deep dive by any means, but hopefully we are going to give you a sense of what it represents and also introduce VxRail HCI at a very high level before we dive into the details of VxRail on the presentation that follows. Sorry, I have some difficulty switching the slides. The agenda for this presentation is that we are going to look at today's three-tier architecture and its challenges. Then I will explain briefly what hyperconverged infrastructure is. After that, I will explain why HCI and outline some of its benefits. And I'm going to close this presentation with a high-level introduction to DELL EMC VxRail HCI. Let's get started. What's today's three-tier architecture and its challenges? In order to understand what hyperconverged infrastructure offers, we need to compare it to the traditional data center infrastructure. A traditional data center infrastructure, sometimes called three-tier architecture. Those three tiers are the network tier, the server tier, and the storage tier, usually connected to the servers using some switches. Let's talk about the challenges commonly faced around the three-tier architectures and how these processes and issues might become unsustainable as we head into the future. Here are some common challenges faced in these types of environments today. For example, tech refresh is a very common one. Most companies, if they run a traditional data center, they are running some sort of three-tier architecture that is fairly complex, especially in larger environments. It can be difficult to refresh with the latest and greatest technology, and replacing fiber channel SAN equipment with new server hardware often involves risky data migrations. Moving data from one platform to another can be difficult. Another common challenge is just expensive to monitor and support. There are a lot of different components involved, both hardware and software, from multiple vendors. Monitoring and supporting these components can be tedious and expensive task. Another common issue is implementation time. In case of larger environments, it can take up to months to complete. Large capital investments are usually required. Bottlenecks and lack of scalability is another challenge. For example, many SAN storage systems tend to be monolithic and only designed to scale up by adding more drives to the system. When systems require a faster or larger storage, it is often means that we have to swap it out with a larger, faster, and more costly storage system. Another common issue we face today is operational inefficiencies. This is because IT tends to be organized in silos, especially in larger companies, where you have dedicated teams handling just the storage or just servers or the network. Furthermore, each system is managed from its own interface, requiring multiple skill sets. How do you manage this chaos? I believe it is time to examine how to alleviate these issues and to make infrastructure more flexible and agile, as it is required by today's fast-changing environments. And as we will see, HCI has an important role to play in this. What is hyperconverged infrastructure? Hyperconverged infrastructure enables compute, storage, and network functions to be decoupled from the underlying infrastructure and run on a common set of physical resources that are based on industry standard x86 servers. This is made possible using 4 tightly integrated software components that make up the hyperconverged platform, and these 4 components are compute virtualization, network virtualization, software-defined storage, and advanced management capabilities using automation. Let's see how this works. The storage virtualization layer is known as the software-defined storage. It uses software to abstract the localities across multiple nodes and create a pool of shared storage that is used by all nodes in an HCI cluster. This pool of shared storage is also well known as virtual SAN. So all the data now resides on the virtual SAN. The configuration of the virtual SAN is based on policies aligned with applications, eliminating the need of complicated constructs like LUNs and volumes required by SAN storage systems, making administration and management much simpler. Let's move on to HCI architecture to see its components and how it is simplified. As we see on the slide here, the compute and storage tiers are collapsed into one tier known as the HCI tier. The server tier is being replaced by a compute virtualization layer, in this case VMware vSphere, and the storage tier is being replaced by software-defined storage, in this case VMware vSAN. These two virtualization layers abstract the underlying hardware of the x86 servers to create a shared pool of resources for both compute and storage. The use of virtualization software allows us to create what is called an HCI cluster. The HCI architecture is now much more simplified compared to the three-tier architecture. It is now consisting of a set of top-of-rack switches connecting the cluster nodes together, and two types of connections are used in this type of architecture. The storage connectivity, connecting each node with each other, allowing it to move storage traffic among cluster nodes, enabling to create and operate the shared storage pool. The other type of connectivity used here is the typical network connectivity, allowing it to move network traffic among nodes and in and out of the cluster. In terms of management, as we see here, in contrast to the three-tier architecture, everything is managed from a single console. Furthermore, we now have a smaller data center footprint, much shorter implementation times, operational simplicity since everything now is managed from a single console, and lower total cost of ownership since HCI is based on x86 servers and organizations can start with the minimum requirements and grow the infrastructure as needed. If you are already running a VMware infrastructure and it is time to refresh, this could be a solution to consider. Another deployment scenario could be for a specific need that you might have for a vertical application such as VDI, or possibly another greenfield project that might be a good fit for HCI. DELL EMC provides us with a tool called Live Optics that we can run on your existing infrastructure to collect information about the resources currently used, such as number of VMs, number of CPU cores used, memory used, etc., that can assist us in sizing the new HCI environment for your organization. Let's move on to see why HCI is such a good fit for today's environment. As we have already seen, traditional architectures are complex and difficult to manage. For example, risky data migrations. In the case of HCI, when we want to expand or refresh the infrastructure, you just need to add the new nodes to the existing cluster. The data will move itself to the new nodes, and as this will become part of the shared storage pool. Then you can start removing the older nodes one by one, and data will rebuild itself on the remaining nodes. Implementation timelines are also reduced. You can have an HCI cluster up and running in just a few days. Traditional infrastructure is complex and costly to monitor. With HCI now, everything is managed and monitored from a single console. Difficult capacity planning. With HCI, you can start small and scale up or scale out as your infrastructure needs grow. The idea here is that HCI is built like a cloud, but is located on premises. It is built on commodity x86 servers, and all the intelligence is in the software. It provides a scale-out architecture, allowing organizations to start small and scale up or scale out while maintaining performance levels. It provides a self-healing system where the entire pool of disks in the virtual SAN are used as hot spares. And in the event of a failure, the system provides the capability to rebuild the data on healthy disks. HCI also supports infrastructure automation, as HCI workflows involve fewer steps than traditional storage workflows and are designed to be automated and integrated from the beginning. All these features can provide a cloud-like experience. Let's proceed to a very high-level introduction to the DELL VxRail. Sorry, excuse me for a second. I have a problem controlling the slides for some reason. Does everything appears okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. The key takeaway from this part I want you to remember is that not all HCI systems are created equal. VxRail systems are jointly engineered with VMware and are fully integrated, pre-configured, and tested HCI systems that are optimized for VMware vSAN technology. VxRail has currently 12,000 customers, an annual revenue of 6 billion and a growth rate of 18%, while 100,000 nodes are already deployed around the globe for various types of workloads. Now let's have a look in more details about the VxRail. VxRail is an appliance consisting of hardware and software. VxRail systems are fully integrated, pre-configured, and tested HCI systems, meaning that all the software is already pre-installed and pre-configured on selected hardware. In terms of hardware, there are a number of VxRail models to choose from, depending on the type of workload you need to run. A standard VxRail configuration starts with 3 nodes and can be expanded up to 64 nodes. The software included is shown here. VMware vSphere and VMware vSAN are included, but you can bring your own licenses if you already have them. VMware vCenter is included with the VxRail system. VMware Log Insight for all CPUs is included, which provides an intelligent log management for infrastructure and applications. DELL EMC Recovery Point for VMs, which can provide replication for VMs for disaster recovery purposes. And VxRail Manager, which is the VxRail General System Management Facility used to deploy, manage, upgrade, patch, and add nodes to the cluster. This is actually comes as a vCenter plugin, so you can directly access it within vCenter. Then we have DELL EMC Secure Remote Services, which is a secure two-way connection between DELL EMC products and DELL EMC customer support that helps customers to avoid and resolve issues up to 73% faster. This is like a call home service. If there is an issue on the system, is communicating back with DELL EMC and provides additional information. So in brief, this is the hardware and software included in VxRail. Now let's have a look at the complete list of software and features provided by VxRail and compare it to the software and features you can get from if you are building a VMware vSAN-based HCI system using vSAN-ready nodes that are available from various vendors, including Dell. As we said before, VxRail systems are fully integrated, pre-configured, and tested HCI systems that can come with a full set of software that we just mentioned and are also listed here. But VxRail is an appliance, and in terms of integration, it provides the following. The sizing process, as we mentioned before, it is recommended to run live optics on your infrastructure to check the resources required to run your applications and be able to size the solution as needed. The configuration is pre-tested in terms of components using certified hardware. Configuration is tested in thousands of deployments that already exist today, and the system can deliver predictable performance. Initialization of the VxRail system can be done in less than an hour. Smart Fabric Services. If you decide to purchase a solution with Dell switches, Smart Fabric Services enables you to have integration at the switch level, allow you to configure switches automatically through the rest of the solution. Software updates and hardware expansion. can be done from a single console with a click of a button, and this is within VxRail Manager. VxRail has multi-cluster management. It uses AI to get logs from the hardware and use AI to look for any anomalies in those logs from the health and performance perspective. And at last, but most important of all, you get support from a single vendor, something that is not available for vSAN ready nodes implementations. And if I switch to the next slide, you can see that what we are missing if we go for vSAN ready nodes implementations. First of all, vSAN ready nodes are just certified servers with no software on them. So you have to provide the basic software such as vSphere, vSAN, and vCenter. You have to install all the software by yourself. All updates and patching has to be done manually with that requires a lot of time. And you miss out all the integration and automation offered by VxRail systems through the additional software included and the whole integration that was done with VMware. And most important, you don't get the support for a single vendor. Closing this presentation, I must say that VxRail provides a simple, cost-effective hyperconverged solution that provides a wide range of that can solve a wide range of challenges and support any use case. And it is something that is worth considering if you are planning to refresh your infrastructure. Thank you for your time and support. Sorry, thank you for your time and attention. And Daphne, back to you.
We can proceed now with our next speaker, Radu from DELL Technologies, who will present VxRail.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, and from my side as well, and thank you very much for joining the webinar. Thank you, Daphne, Ambos, and Marinos for the introduction, and really happy to be here with you. Thanks for inviting me, and we really value our partnership. We are proud to work with one of the most important system integrators on the CPU market. Now, today we're going to talk about VxRail, but first of all, I want to make a short introduction to cloud a bit. Yeah, so VxRail, you know, we position VxRail as a foundation for IT transformation and the cloud operating model. So I would like to talk briefly about cloud. You know, when we say cloud, most of the time we think public cloud instantly. Although, you know, this is not wrong. It sometimes can be misleading, yeah, because if you say cloud and you think about public cloud, it means that only the workloads that run in the public cloud get the benefits of the cloud, and which is not true, because we can have the cloud also on premises with all the same benefits that you have in the public cloud, but also having the the control and the security that you want to apply to your environment on premises. Yeah. So moving forward, yeah, what does it mean for our customers to operate in a multi-cloud world? We see these challenges that they are facing. First of all, the laws of physics. So as soon as you take your applications and put them in the public cloud, somewhere away, you know, maybe in the US or in Ireland or in Frankfurt, the law of physics play a crucial role here, because you know, as farther away you take your applications from the place where the data is produced or consumed by your customers, you know, the delays play a critical role in this, and there might be the round trip time might be too high for the application or the consumer of the application to you know, to support it, to allow it. So this is the law of physics. Yeah, as soon as you take your applications away from where the data is produced or consumed, you have these delays. Now, the laws of economics say that you have to factor in the costs for this decision. So taking your workload, your applications to the public cloud is not free of charge, of course. Yeah, so you need to get all the costs in the calculation, because sometimes there can be hidden costs like the upload or download costs, or I don't know, some other services that you need to use from the public cloud solution provider. So you need to factor in all the costs and see if it really makes sense economically for you to move your workloads to the public cloud. And then there's the laws of land. The laws of land say that for some data, as companies and government becomes more savvy of data, they need to protect it better. Yeah, so there are laws now that say that certain types of data cannot be taken outside the country, or I don't know, on some other continent or whatever. Yeah, so you have to factor in also these regulations and laws when you take a decision on where to place your data. Yeah, so now, for all these reasons, we at Dell Technologies think that cloud should not be seen as a destination, as a place where you send your data and you don't know exactly where it is stored, but rather an operating model. So a way to consume your IT services, yeah, not a destination, not a place where you put your data. Yeah, this is what we believe should be in the mind of all the customers. Yeah, not think about cloud only as the public cloud, but also as an operating model. Yeah, you can have the same benefits on-prem, building your private cloud, and then just if you need to move some workloads to the public cloud, you can do that definitely with the hybrid cloud approach. This doesn't mean public cloud is bad, definitely. So it's very good. We are all using it every day, but it's not for all the workloads. Yeah, so some workloads need to stay on-prem, need to be under your control, under your supervision, and there are things that you cannot do in the public cloud. Yeah. So now, yeah, looking at what analysts are saying, asking customers about this, although we've been hearing about public cloud for 15 years or so, and people were saying data centers will disappear and everyone will move to the public cloud. Yeah, it doesn't look like that. Yeah, so after roughly 15 years of public cloud services, we still see lots of customers having on-premise data centers and strategies in their IT strategy. So 92% of the respondents of this ESG research said that they have cloud strategies that are inclusive of on-premises data centers. So okay, they move some workloads to the cloud, but they are keeping some of them in the premises. Also, another study, this time commissioned by VMware, says that 83% of the respondents value the consistency between the infrastructure in the on-premises and in the cloud. Yeah. So if they would like to have the same tools, the same management interfaces for both on-prem and the cloud. Yeah. This is something that they value, and you can understand why is that, because I don't want to teach my teams a new a tool to manage the cloud infrastructure if I can use the same one I have on premises also in the public cloud. Yeah, so this is something that we've seen from customers. And for all these reasons, we think the future isn't public or private, but it's rather both. Yeah. So okay, some workloads can be taken to the public cloud, some can stay on-prem, and the best idea, the best solution would be to have a consistency in the tools and the operations between these two worlds. Yeah. Now, looking at the HCI trends today, so what is driving HCI adoption on the market? So of course, data center modernization is the first one. So we talk about digital transformation, but at the foundation of the digital transformation is the IT transformation. So you first need to transform your IT in a more agile one, in a more innovative one, to move to the digital transformation. Yeah, and to transform your IT, it means you need to go away from trying to do everyday patching and configuring and upgrading the infrastructure and making sure it works. because these are repetitive tasks that should be automated, and this is what we're trying to achieve with the hyperconverged infrastructure. Yeah, to automate the manual tasks that are error prone, so to avoid this and let the IT admins and IT departments be more innovative and more closer to the business, and be able to support the business faster and better. And this is the first driver of the HCI adoption. Then we have edge computing growing, and you see a lot of things happening in the edge. Huge amounts of data are generated there. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, all this stuff are happening at the edge, and there are tools that analyze the data and need to extract insights from that data and need to do it there at the edge, because this is where the data is produced, and this is where the insights should be rapidly derived from the data to be used to make business decisions. Yeah, so we see HCI moving also to the edge location. For that, of course, you can also use our PowerStore storage system that can run VMs directly on the storage system, and that can be also a solution for the edge. But depending on your data and on your applications, you can choose also an VxRail for the edge. So edge computing, edge cloud, let's say, if you want, is growing, and it's driving adoption of such solutions. Hybrid cloud, we talked about this already. So the consistency between the on-prem infrastructure and the public cloud is also a trend that allows HCI to gain share and more to the customers' centers. And also cloud native applications. So those people that want to develop cloud native applications and they want to do it on-prem, they can do it with an HCI approach, because VxRail can run VMware Tanzu, and it's tightly integrated to it with this. And you can use the Kubernetes stack and all the tools to develop modern cloud native applications on-prem. And then, we have the continued innovation, both in hardware and in software in the HCI world, that drives also the adoption, because we have better processors, higher performance processors, NVMe, drives, and cache as well, 5G, 100 gig Ethernet, and all these innovations that we see every day make the HCI solution more and more appealing to customers. So they are driving this in this direction, and as a result, we see in this slide you saw also from Marinos. So we see a lot of adoption. So we have over 12,000 customers all over the world, and 160,000 nodes deployed. This is huge. We see VxRail as one of the highest growth product in our portfolio. It's definitely growing faster than the storage market, and that's one market that it's taking share from, because people are moving from traditional approach for their VMware environment, from traditional server storage approach to a hyper-converged infrastructure, and VxRail is definitely leading that category. So we see this going very fast forward. It can serve all these kinds of workloads like VDI, SAP HANA. So Kubernetes, all these workloads are certified on VxRail, and you can run. And there are lots of customers that are using these workloads on VxRail. In terms of maturity and reliability, this product has been on the market for several years. We've achieved 6 nines availability with VxRail, and this is continuously and sustained availability. This is measured in the fields on the systems that we sold, and it has been sustained for the past 4 quarters. This means, of course, less downtime, so higher uptime for our customers, which is one of the reasons why they go to the VxRail path. Some accolades here. So Gartner named VxRail the Peer Insight Customer Choice for HCI in 2021, and some customers quotes here about how it is super easy to install, simplified a lot their infrastructure, the lifecycle management, the automated lifecycle management, which I will talk about more in the next slides. It's very important for our customers, and yeah, the implementation was very easy to done. Now, some customer examples in more closer to us in our region, both in Cyprus, Malta, Greece, but also in the other countries in our region. So the idea is that we have customers in all the verticals. VxRail is not specific for a specific vertical. Of course, we have one model that is specific for harsh environments that can be used in oil refineries or on vessels or whatever. So built for those high temperatures, small spaces, something like this. But that's a specific use case. Other than that, VxRail can be deployed in any data center in any edge location for any workload that runs on VMware. So we have customers from all these verticals, like financial services. The top 5 bank in Romania is running this on between 2 data centers with a metro cluster solution. So active solution between the data center to run their mission critical workloads. Central bank also in Romania is running VDI on VxRail. 2 major banks in Israel, and these are just some examples that I could pull from the system from the last year or so. In Greece, we have a maritime telecom company using VxRail also for critical workloads on VMware. Major telecom in Latvia as well. Again, energy services. Romania, a large multinational energy company in Israel, the leading electricity provider there. In audit and consultancy, the likes of Deloitte, Ernst & Young, KPMG, and so on, they are using it a lot in Czech, Poland, Romania, just again in our region to get an idea. Government, we have a large implementation in Malta for metro cluster that we are using, and also in Romania for VDI for a government customer, but also in the defense with lots of VxRail deployed all over the country. Manufacturing, again, I'm from Romania, so many of these examples are from Romania because I know them very well. But there are lots of other examples in manufacturing. Leading multinational company and Fortune 100 multinational conglomerate. Think about the likes of Emerson, Honeywell, and so on. These are types of customers that deploy this at large scale all over the world. Railways as well. Tobacco industry, 2 of the largest producers of tobacco use again all over the world. So they deployed in different countries. A large port authority in Greece is also using VxRail. In oil and gas, again, gas company, refineries. So what I want to say again, there is no one specific industry where VxRail is fitted, but it can be used in any industry you may think of. Now, what's inside? Lots of software, from VMware, the stack that choice of vSAN, vCenter, whatever you want to. If you want to add Tanzu or VMware Cloud Foundation for the hybrid cloud approach, you can do that. Then we have our system software, which is the differentiator that VxRail brings to other ACI solutions, and I will talk more about this. And the data protection options, again, I have a slide about this, and I will talk how we can add value with the protection solutions from DELL EMC. Now, the system software, there are lots of pieces here. I don't want to insist on all of them. I just want to talk about more about lifecycle management. This is, I would say, one of the most important things that a major IT organization needs to cope with every day. When you have large systems and you need to patch them and upgrade them, and a major version is released from VMware or whatever Microsoft vendor you are using for your operating system, hypervisor, and so on. It's a heavy load on the IT. I used to work for a cloud service provider in Romania, and we were offering services for many customers in our data center. So when we had to upgrade that infrastructure that was hosting hundreds of customers, it was a nightmare for the operations team. So they needed to check everything to make sure everything is compatible with everything before they made even the request to the management to get approval. Then they needed to reserve a time window in which there might be some disruption to business, because you never know what happens when you upgrade such a high complex infrastructure. And also in terms of budget, taking a lot of time from the IT operations teams to do all that, it means a huge budget, that they need to allocate. So all these challenges lead us to introduce lifecycle management, automated lifecycle management with VxRail, which is us taking the responsibility to test and validate everything for you. So that if you deploy VxRail, then you just have to do one click, you upgrade all your infrastructure. Even your Ethernet switches, if you're using Dell switches, we can include them in the lifecycle management. Your GPUs, your servers, your hypervisor, your vCenter, whatever software you're using in your stack, we can apply this package of updates for the whole infrastructure with one click, which is again tested and validated by us. And this is something that takes away from your responsibility. You don't have to do that. You don't have to waste time to test all that, to check the compatibility, to make sure everything is working with everything. So we do that for you so that you can sleep tight at night. Now about security and data protection, a little faster. So security, I don't want to dive too much into this. So all sorts of measures that we are taking, all sorts of certifications that we've obtained for VxRail, both at the software level, at the vSphere, vSAN level from VMware, but also on the hardware, which is Dell servers. So lots of security features that are embedded in the solution. In terms of data protection, now depending on your RPO and RTO, you can choose from a different number of solutions. So if you have RPOs, RTOs that are close to zero, like some of the banks have, I talked about earlier, or the energy companies, those mission critical infrastructures that are running, services for millions of citizens, or maybe you have, you want to build your government cloud, and you want to have services for citizens that need to be highly available, then the most high availability solution, let's say, is the stretch cluster. So you have active stretch clustering with VxRail. You can have nodes in one side and the other, so both sides are active, so your applications can run in either side if something happens to one of the sides. Then of course, if you don't need that highest availability, we can recommend to you synchronous replication or asynchronous replication. We have a very good solution for this. It's called Recover Point for VM. This is journal-based replication. It can easily be implemented in a sync scenario, and if something happens with your link between the two sites, it can automatically change to async replication and start accumulating in this journal the writes, and then when the link goes back on, replicate the journal and apply the changes. So it's very easy to use, fully automated, so you don't have to worry about what if something happens with the link, I need to do something. No, the tool does it automatically. Moreover, it only transfers to the other side deduplicated data. So if the blocks are already transferred, it doesn't have to do it again. And yeah, it's a really fine tool that you get with all the VxRails for 5 VMs per node. So if you have more than 5 VMs, you can definitely buy additional licenses, or you can license it per CPU, and then you can run how many VMs you would like and replicate them to the other side. And then we have the local protection, with the data protection software and the data domain deduplication appliances that maybe some of you know, that can be used, of course, for protecting the VMs. Now, VMware Cloud Foundation. We talked about cloud in the beginning and this consistency between the on-prem and the public cloud. This is what we do with VMware Cloud Foundation. VMware Cloud Foundation is the VMware cloud stack that is tightly integrated with VxRail. VxRail was actually the first hyperconverged system that was fully integrated in the VMware Cloud Foundation. and SDDC manager. And what does this mean? It means that from the SDDC manager, software-defined data center manager tool, that is the orchestrator of the whole VMware Cloud Foundation, you can also manage the VxRail. You can also integrate it in the lifecycle management of the SDDC manager. So you can do everything from there, from SDDC manager, including the VxRail and Dell switches management and operation. So you can, if you want to go to this hybrid cloud approach, this is the way. Yeah, maybe you want to also just, it doesn't have to be a hybrid cloud. So you may not think about public cloud at all. You just want to have your private cloud, but build with all the features and the benefits of the public cloud. You want to have, I don't know, automated services. So you build your own services catalog that then you can offer it to your customers, and they can choose what services they want. They want to have, I don't know, 10 virtual machines with this configuration, or they want to have a SQL Server machine with that configuration and so on. So you can build this catalog with the tools that VMware Cloud Foundation offers. You can also do chargeback. So if you have customers, you can put a cost on each of these services in the catalog, and then they can know how much it will cost them. Yeah? Maybe, not just to charge them, but maybe you want to do it even for internal organization. So you have a department that is asking for some resources to run a new service, a new application. You can tell them, okay, these resources would cost you, I don't know, 5,000 euros per month. Is this okay? Do you agree with this? Is this fitting in your business case, and so on? So, or you are a government and you're offering public cloud services to agencies of the government. Yeah, then you can say to, I don't know, Ministry of Agriculture, this infrastructure that you're requesting costs you 10,000 euros per month. Is this, fine for you? So you can even do that. So all the things that you can do in the public cloud, I think public cloud, you can do on-prem with the VMware Cloud Foundation. Okay, that's just another view of that. So we are integrated. VxRail is integrated in the SDDC manager, in the cloud builder, in the vCenter with the VxRail manager, so that we have one pane of glass to manage everything. In terms of platform options, we have some new ones with the new Dell servers, generation 15, both with Intel and AMD third generation Xeon Scalable or Milan processors. We have some new GPUs and some other features that are new. These are the series. Marinus also presented those. So we have E is the 1U servers, not so many slots for capacity. If you need more, we go to the P or the V, which are 2U servers. P is for performance, V is for virtualization. It supports up to 6 GPUs. So these are for extremely intensive graphic virtual machines or VDI. So you can use the V series for that with the GPUs that can be then virtualized and shared between the machines there. D is from durable. These are the models for the harsh environments, like I was saying, oil refinery, drilling, I don't know, you name it, factories, whatever environments that are not data center environments, where the temperature is higher, there's dust, or I don't know, humidity is not in the usual range. You can use this D series. G is from general purpose. This is the more integrated. You can have 4 nodes into U, so you don't have too much storage capacity. But if you need to be extremely small in size and fit 4 nodes into U, that's the solution. And the S series is just a 2U server, but with 3.5-inch drive, so you have higher storage density with this solution. Dynamic nodes, very quickly, it's something new. So you can have in a VxRail cluster compute-only nodes if you want to scale on your compute power. So you can add compute-only nodes, and they will use either the vSAN capacity from the other nodes or an external storage solution. And in terms of scaling, you can add nodes. Definitely, the system will auto balance the new nodes and get the optimized configuration, or you can scale up by just adding drives in the existing nodes if you have slots for that. Yeah, and that's my last slide. So to wrap it, VxRail, we believe, is the foundation for your IT transformation and the cloud model or cloud operating model. So you can have the benefits of the public cloud on-prem with VxRail, and you can start your private cloud from that. Yeah, modernizing the data center, accelerating your path to the hybrid cloud with VxRail. This is what we can do today for you. Thank you very much. And
Thank
there
you,
are any
Radu.
questions?
Yes, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A. We already have one question in the chat. Marinos or Radu, I think you can answer them. There's one question in the chat.
Yes. Okay, we need to look more into this. So
Radu, what's the question first?
yeah, okay, so hello, what about complex on-prem setups migration to VxRail? For example, OVM running Oracle nodes with raw device mapping disks, is this supported? So yeah, we need to look more into this. With raw device mapping. There is a bit of a challenge with migration, but it can be done. Definitely can be done. Just we need to look more into this. So please contact Logicom Solutions with more details, and we will be happy to. Okay, so I don't see any other questions in the chat.
There aren't any other questions. Okay, we can close the webinar since there are no more questions. And if there are more questions, you can contact us at solutions@logicom.net or contact your account manager directly. And I will share the recording with you. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.